Love. Love, they say, is the greatest virtue of all, I guess, because it also involves unconditional love. Many of us don't possess that. Again, we think we don't. But when we look at love and the expression of love, many of us have in the past, like, look for love, as they say, in all the wrong places. We just want somebody to love us. And how are they going to love us? I don't know. Either somebody has to be physical or giving you presents or always in your sight, you know. And I don't really actually see all of that as love. It's more or less like a possession. And then with possession, you also become possessed. You don't seem to get enough of that person. You're always in that person's face, and after a while, and then even in these relationships, you go out the door. Where are you going? When you coming back? Or we're going to have tea. What are we doing? Are we going somewhere? And then you get somewhere and you get these text messages. When you're coming home? Are you done yet? Or whatever. But this is what's happening is a lot of insecurity. Maybe that person hasn't had that unconditional love. Maybe it wasn't felt. And you need this, the nurturing, and that while you're growing up, that feeling of unconditional love, either from a parent, a grandmother, or somebody in your life. I find as a grandmother, I loved my kids unconditionally, but there was conditions sometimes. And as a parent, you have to put some conditions on things, or you're going to have everybody overrunning you. But I know now, like with the grandchildren, I can give them more, and I don't really have to deal with it. The parents do, and like my sugar bowl. We have these things. And as in ceremony and in spirituality, you say, the greatest love is the love of Creator and the love that He has for us. And it would be magnified maybe 1,000,000 times by what our grandparents and our parents feel for us. And in this, again, there's a whole lot of everything. Spirituality, mental, physical, the whole bit is included in all of these virtues. And it's hard to leave one without the other. And like my mother and people used to say, if you really love a person, then you won't hurt that person. You won't cause them to cry. You will always be there when they need you, and I look at some of the elders, they had a pretty good relationship. And even when my parents, I never seen them really, not really, they didn't fight. Or if they did, nobody seen it. And there was an awful lot of us. There was 13 of us plus other kids, And my aunts and uncles. And I always thought this is how you're supposed to live your life with your husband and wife. And when you grow up and you move out, then you kind of find out that this isn't the truth. This ain't what is happening out there. But my parents were always they were really loving parents. And they loved one another, they loved the children, grandchildren. We had other extended family kids in the house. Nobody was treated any different. We were all treated the same. If one ate, we all ate. If you got something new, it's like that guy out on the iceberg somewhere there with his chips. If I give you one, I have to give everybody one. So that was kind of the idea. Everybody was loved and everybody knew it in the family, But sadly, sometimes these things don't happen. And again, love is an emotion and it can be very strong. And a lot of times if we don't have that love for ourselves or respect, whatever it is, then we also become sometimes abusive. It's either verbal, physical, mental, whatever. And these are one of the virtues that I think we need to work on. Even for myself, we all have to do that. And I remember when I fasted, because of a lot of the anger and hurt and the pain that I carried in my life, the last day of my fast, I had to lay flat on the ground. It sounds weird, but it was to let go of all that anger and to let Mother Earth take it. And as that happened, then I asked Grandmother Eagle and all of the good things in my life to come and Creator to fill up what was I let go of. Because when you let go of something, you have to fill it up with something else, or you're just going to have something running around empty. And that's when I began caring more. I could understand love, and I could feel love. Not only for myself, my family, but for community and other people. And when you hear people complaining or whatever, it doesn't mean that they hate you or whatever. A lot of times what they're saying is that they're not happy, they're dissatisfied in a community. Like sometimes they complain about the band, they complain about the welfare, they complain about everything. But that's what it is. They're not angry, they don't hate nobody, but they just need help. And the same thing with love here. You know, if you don't have that love and you don't feel it, you're not going to be well. And it's like all the parts of your body, if something's wrong, everything's going to be off. So what we try to do is, with the 7 sacred teachings, is create that balance so we can walk in harmony and peace among each other.